Speaking of 17, so it's an unbelievable number, an opportunity. Do you guys talk about it? Do you want to make the point that there's history on the line, or you want to stay away from that? I'm never quite sure how a coach and a team approaches this kind of opportunity.
I think everyone knows what's going on, but do we talk about it? No. It might get mentioned in the room with the players. I don't think they spend a lot of time on it, but it's pretty cool that we're in this situation. But we are just obviously with the rivalry against the Golden Knights and how good they are, and we're playing some pretty good hockey, and we're just getting ready for probably a pretty good hockey game.
Do you think maybe your demeanor has sort of rubbed off on the players? Like, you're not making a big deal out of it, so maybe they're not, even though it is big, but you're just kind of going about your regular business.
Well, often, a lot of the times, your team will be thinking about things the coaches brings up and what they're talking about in the dressing room between periods or pre-scouts and all that. But, if that's kind of that's their feel about it, whether that's for me or just the leadership in the room, I'm not sure. But I want to take things short term, whether it was when I came in early in the year, after, it was a game 13 or 14, I came for my first game and didn't want to look at the long picture. We broke the season up in little segments because we didn't want to see what was going to happen in game 82 or game 78 or whatever it was. We just want to look at our next game or even just the next week of what our schedule was and what we needed to get better at. And same approach when we were, at the bottom of the standings, same approach when we're moving on up.
As a group and as a collective, just to piggyback off of that, is it easier said than done to focus on the small things, like your next shift, your next period, your next game, when there's so much noise around this team, whether good or bad?
So much easier thinking about what you have to control the controllables. And if we look at so many things and go back to the beginning of the year and seeing where we were in the standings and who we needed to pass, and you look at what their schedule is and if they're winning games, that's out of our control. And if we're thinking about things that are out of our control, we're just wasting energy, we're wasting time. And, if we just are very short-sighted at the moment and think about our next shift or even our next game, it's just so much easier for everyone to perform at their best.
Did you guys welcome the break? Because it did look towards the end there that you were running a little low on steam, I guess, just mentally and physically. Was the break a good thing for your group?
Often when things are going well, you don't want a break. You don't want to get away from the momentum and take that away. But I think that's a fair assessment, that I think we were doing a lot of good things and just doing enough to win hockey games. But I think guys were getting tired and needing a break, and hopefully our batteries recharged, and we had 2 good skates, and I think guys are energized, and hopefully we can have another push.
I know you weren't here last year, but it was a pretty devastating loss here last year in the playoffs. And some guys, it still seems like it still lingers a little bit. And how would you getting that sense that they're excited to come back here and try to make right or wrong, I guess?
I think there's been certain games, opposition that we've had that there's a bit of a rivalry, whether it's playing Calgary or LA or Vegas because of the matchups in the playoffs, and obviously the Calgary Edmonton, that goes without saying. But you can tell the demeanor on the guys getting a little more excited about those games, and we'll see how we respond today, and if that break was good for us or not. We'll that time will tell.
Kris, Braden McNab played a critical part in your WHL championship in Kootenay. He's a core piece in this organization. Just a thought on all these years later, any surprise to you that he's had the kind of career success that he has based upon your experience coaching him before?
No, the only surprise is, he had to kind of move around before he really established himself as a really good NHL player, and he's kind of found his home here and has done very well. I have a lot of respect for Braden. Braden was my first captain when I became a head coach, and his play was exceptional, which led us to a league title in the WHL. And Braden, being a small town farm boy, that's grew up not very far from me. You know, obviously I have a lot of respect for him.